Perfect. Everything seems to be working. How have you been, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a while. Sorry that last time I had to end the stream prematurely because, as you can see, I still haven't recovered. And yeah, pretty much my throat is. I have a flu, a slight flu, and it's so difficult to talk and stream like this. An absolute disgrace, an absolute disgrace. But well, here we are with another uh, short but special showcase. Remember last time we completed chapter 3 of the preservation series, the series in which we showcase games that would normally be online only, or that we've been told that they could only be developed with online only in mind. Um, Not only MOBAs, we are first focusing on MOBAs, but a lot of games that would normally only work uh, online that we've been told so, but that we metaphysically debunk and prove that they could have easily been developed with an offline mode, just like old school games. I always cite the same example, Diablo 2 back in the year 2000, uh, basically had both online and offline modes, and they were perfectly compatible. Uh, Regarding that, we did a debate, a pretty huge debate. It was an hour and a half of debate in which I metaphysically proved, and we could see all of the comments of users in the Blizzard community mocking those asking for an offline mode in Diablo 3, in Diablo 4, in Heroes of the Storm, in Overwatch 1, and we basically compare that to the community of Heroes of New Earth that basically, long story short, was always regarded supposedly as a toxic and savage community, and that supposedly toxic community was ready for the shutdown of their beloved game, and they organized and they revived their game with Project Kongor. And last time in chapter 3, I basically showcased my own version of Heroes of New Earth that would combine Project Kongor's mod and another offline mod, and I finally proved that Heroes of New Earth was completely playable offline. The same for Defense of the Ancients last week, for Defense of the Ancients 2 last week, Dota 2. I proved that the game could have had offline mode easily, and that we could have enjoyed LAN battles with our friends and everything completely offline. And in chapter 1, the best chapter, in my opinion, in which I proved that Heroes of the Storm could have been developed offline with an offline mode, because you could see me executing it completely offline. Now, Heroes of the Storm and Dota 2, their servers still haven't shut down. Give some more minutes to Heroes of the Storm. As you know, it's my favorite MOBA. It's the first one that I ever played. But yeah, for example, the Chinese servers of Heroes of the Storm have already shut down because of a contract problem that we mentioned last time. All right, so we did some interesting debates in the previous chapters. We covered Heroes of the Storm, Defense of the Ancients 2, Dota 2, and Heroes of New Earth. I need to practice a bit more until I release the Heroes of New Earth both, because I want to showcase you, because I got beaten by the bots, and pretty much I want you to practice a bit to showcase this a second map and another surprise that you will have in the final YouTube VOD once I upload it. But well, the game of today, the MOBA that we are going to cover today, is called STRIFE. It's the spiritual successor of Heroes of New Earth. It's a spiritual successor. It has been developed by the same team and it pretty much followed the same fate as Heroes of New Earth. The servers are completely, they have been shut down completely. You can no longer play the game on their official servers or any servers because this game didn't have the time to to create a community like Heroes of New Earth, like Heroes of New Earth. Um, so basically, Strife is the spiritual successor of Heroes of New Earth, but basically it didn't have the time, the game, to grow and create its own community. So most of its original community, I deduce, it was part of a player base that played Heroes of New Earth, since it was developed by the same company. It followed the same fate as Heroes of New Earth, but in a much more accelerated way, in a much more accelerated state, because it kind of like was born and died immediately. You'll see the dates. Here I have them prepared for you, and we are going to begin right now with the intro of today's case, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is, I present you Strife, the successor of Heroes of New Earth. It was a multiplayer MOBA developed by S2 Games. You can see it. It was their second MOBA game aimed to a more casual player base than Heroes of New Earth. Yes, this is something important. Heroes of New Earth is extremely similar to Dota 2, and Strife is much more similar in terms of mechanics, especially to Heroes of the Storm. Much more similar to Heroes of the Storm. In fact, I would say that this game, they didn't want to do this originally, the developers of this game, but without a doubt, this game is also kind of like a predecessor of Heroes of the Storm. It kind of like is extremely similar, extremely similar. They follow the much more casual DNA of League of Legends rather than the hardcore mechanics of Defense of the Ancients 2, which is the most complex out of all of them. So, and Heroes of New Earth. Heroes of New Earth is certainly much more similar to Defense of the Ancients 2 than 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 League of Legends. Right, so we have two separate branches, let's say, two separate styles, and Strife definitely is part of, it's pretty similar to Heroes of the Storm, pretty similar to League of Legends, rather than the other two, rather than Dota 2 and Heroes of New Earth. Most notably incorporating various elements to focus on heavily reducing player toxicity and yeah, remember what we covered last time, that Heroes of New Earth was accused of all of those things and blah 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 blah, that this is all false. It was part of the nature of the internet back in those years. As I've said, World of Warcraft had a dominant position back in the early 2000s and also 2010 when Heroes of New Earth was released, and you could see the announcer and the name calling. Well, once I released the previous board, and you'll see that it's part of the sickness of today's society, which involves everyone getting offended by nothing, literally nothing. Because if you cannot handle, if you are 20 years old, 30 years old, whatever, if you cannot handle that in a game you are getting killed by another player and there's a huge banner saying own each or something like that, as you could see in the previous board when we played Heroes of New Earth, sorry, you have a psychological problem. It's not a problem of Strife or of Heroes of New Earth, sorry, because this one doesn't have all of those. Of Heroes of New Earth, you'll see how censored this game is compared to Heroes of New Earth. Precisely that's why I played Heroes of New Earth right before its successor, which is this one. You will see how heavily censored this game is in comparison to Heroes of New Earth. But the gameplay mechanics are perfect. The gameplay mechanics are perfectly executed, and you'll see that this game released kind of like the same, not the same day, but pretty close to Heroes of the Storm, and both of them had pretty similar mechanics. It was pretty much the pinnacle of the MOBA craze. Blah 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 blah. Here you have the story. This is the interesting thing because here you have everything documented. This is the good thing about Wikipedia, that it documents the dates. Was announced August 8, 2013. Open beta, closed beta, open beta, open beta, blah 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 blah. April 9 has been published on Steam as early access, and on May 22, 2015 has been released as a free-to-play on Steam. Yeah, I need to charge my mouse. May 22, here you also had it, worldwide release. 2015, the same year Heroes of the Storm was released. Certainly, it's a pretty similar case to Blair. You remember that racing game developed by Activision 2009 and no 2010 and Split Second. I always liked Split Second a bit more, but I also finished Blur on the hardest difficulty. They are both amazing games. They were pretty similar. The only two card games, let's say, in a pretty similar style, developed after a lot of time. This is a pretty similar case. I don't know why in the gaming industry there's these cases. For example, uh, there was also this case of Armies of Exigo and Dungeons and Dragons Dragon Shard, that precisely one of the developers of Dungeons and Dragons Dragon Shard told me that they both simultaneously released both of them, both games, with pretty similar mechanics in some cases, the multiple sub-level mechanic in the RTS genre, at the same time, unknowingly. They developed them independently. That's what he told me. Then they didn't know what the other team was doing. Well, a pretty similar case happened with Blur by Activision and Split Second by Disney back in 2010. And this case, in 2015, it's a pretty similar case. Two games released with extremely similar mechanics, of course belonging to the same genre, pretty similar mechanics, and released the same, pretty much, in not the same date, but pretty close dates. It's something that has happened a lot of times. And as you can see, 2015, 2018 servers have been shut down without comment from developers, with S2 games being quietly closed down as well. So the game servers are dead, the company died as well, Heroes of New Earth servers shut down, Strife's servers shut down, dead. Everything is dead. This game is abandonware at this point. The servers have been shut down, the company developing the game has been shut down, everything has been shut down. With all of that in mind, there we go. With all of that in mind, thanks to the community, just like we covered in Heroes of New Earth, that's why I mentioned last time that when the community bands together, instead of having a group insulting or publicly mocking the other group, asking for offline mode, just like we covered twice by now, because we did two intros talking about that. This is what happens. The community organized, and there's a way to play Strife that I'm going to showcase to all of you right now. There's a way to do it. Thanks to the old school file structure of Savage, the Battle for New Earth, inherited by Heroes of New Earth, and then inherited by Strife, Strife is completely playable offline, just like Heroes of New Earth. With a different system, and for now, it was possible, and I could do it. I don't know for how much more time it will be. That's why I have here something that I wanted to show you. This is basically the game. As you can see, the game, notice at the request of the publisher, Strife is unlisted on the Steam store and will not appear on search. So even if you type Strife here and you search for it, it won't appear. You kind of like have to search it through Google. The Google search engine still finds the game. And as you can see here, these hypocrites, Polygon, IGN, see how they praise the MOBA because supposedly it wasn't toxic like the Heroes of New Earth demon that was extremely toxic. Instead of caring about analyzing the gameplay mechanics and everything, they focus on this stupidity, on these stupid things that they don't have technical quality in their analysis. See, Strive S2 Games answer to the toxic MOBA. Such an in-depth analysis. They certainly analyze the gameplay mechanics, the how the gameplay mechanics affect the level design, how the level design interacts with the gameplay mechanics, how they improve the graphics engine for this game. They upgraded Heroes of New Earth um, engine, how the soundtrack was changed and everything, how the balance of the game was. No, nothing of that is important. How the pathfinding of the units works, because that was an old school classic issue with RTS and mobile games. No, nothing of that matters. What matters is that Strife is S2 Games' answer to the toxic MOBA, and Heroes of New Earth was a terribly toxic MOBA, and we cannot allow toxicity. Well, here's the game. As you can see, even if you search for it on Steam, it won't appear. It's telling you that. But if you search it through the Google search engine, it will appear. As I've told you, S2 Games is no more. They were shut down. The servers of this game have been shut down, so everything's dead. Everything's dead. Supposedly, the game is unplayable. It's an online-only game. The company has been shut down. The servers have been shut down. So everything is dead. Now, you can still download God knows for how much time. God knows for how much time. I'm making this video. I'll leave a registry here in July 2023. For now, you can download the files. You can download the files of Strife. So you can actually download. The game is free to play. It's free to play, as you can see. It's free to play. So you can simply download the game here on Steam with your account normally, like you would do with any Steam games, like we are used to do. You download the game. If you download the game files to play, of course, when you try to play it, the game won't work. It won't work because the game servers have been shut down and the company is no more. Right. This is exactly the moment. this is exactly the moment in which the preservation genius comes into play. Pretty similar to Heroes of the Storm, the community developed a launcher which allows me in this case, which allows me to play a completely offline and preserved version of the game. Pretty similar to Heroes of the Storm. Not like Heroes of New Earth, because you could see that the system, the method I used was completely different. But in this case, we can revive and completely preserve forever the offline gameplay mechanics of the game. Once the Steam files are removed from Steam servers, once they are eradicated from there, there will be no way for the launcher to interact with the game files, because you won't be able to download the free-to-play game, the base of all of these. So yes, pretty much I managed to preserve this game forever offline. And I'm gonna show you once again for the fourth time. This is the fourth MOBA that I prove that can be played completely offline. Completely offline. We'll prove it once again, ladies and gentlemen. So, let me put the stream on performance mode because we are gonna open the game. You must be fed up of looking at my desktop every time I do one of these showcases. But well, it's needed so you can see that I'm not lying to you. I know that that followers and those loyal fans of the channels don't think I'm lying, but if this is watched by any random people on the internet, they'll think MOBAs are meant to be played online. What are you saying? You are lying. You are lying. MOBAs cannot be played offline in any way or shape. They are meant to be played online only. Right. That's not the case, and you'll see that a lot of games, Diablo 4, Overwatch 1, Heroes of the Storm, Dota 2, all of the ones that I have here, Heroes of New Earth, Defense of the Ancients, Strife, Heroes of the Storm, these are all playable completely offline. We've already covered the other chapters, and today we'll cover the chapter of Strife. So, remember, servers of the game completely shut down. Company completely closed, defunct. S2 Games is no more. The company died. So, thanks to the community, once again, just like with Heroes of the Storm, thanks to the great community that developed this amazing launcher, we can still play a completely offline and preserved version of the game, or at least I can do it. I have no experience with the game, so uh, we will have to. I think I only played once with some kind of crocodile or something like that. Pretty much, as you can see here, I can choose the hero. Here I can choose the pet. The game has a pet system, and basically, thanks to this launcher developed by the community, pretty similar to Heroes of the Storm. Remember that we covered that in the first chapter. We can still access an offline version of the game. The game, basically. Once the Steam files are no longer available, the game will be lost forever. And we'll have another Wild Star, another Dark Spore, another dead game. But fortunately for now, as you could see, free-to-play game, you can still get the files from Steam servers. You can download it like you would download any normal Steam game. And thanks to this launcher created by the community, they kept the game alive. As you can see, you can play tutorial, you can play 5 versus 5. I need to be honest with all of you. I don't know about the heroes in this game. I still need to practice a bit more, just like I need to do with Heroes of New Earth. So, yeah, pretty much, I don't have a lot of experience. So I'll pick this guy called Rip, because in honor to what the game in the current state of the game, you can change the custom item set here. And as you can see, the community has once again proved that these games could have all been developed with offline mode for us that simply want to play against bots and play MOBAs offline. So let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I'm lying or not. Let's see if the crazy scientist is lying or not. Just like we did with Heroes of the Storm, Defense of the Ancients 2, Heroes of New Earth. Let's see if it works. And here we are once again. Let's try to prove that MOBAs could have had offline easily. And the fact that a lot of users over all of the users that we read in the first chapter, publicly mocking those asking for an offline mode, are simply misguided and they are causing a huge harm to the community. Uh, because we read a lot of comments, those of you who haven't watched the previous chapters must think, what's this guy talking about? No one will do that. Yes, trust me, you can see the comments that I read in the first chapter of people publicly mocking those asking for an offline mode in Diablo 3, in Diablo 4, telling them, deal with it. The game is online only. Deal with it. The game is meant to be played only online only. Because Diablo 4, I think I was reading the comments, or Heroes of the Storm. That's the way. That's how life works. Online only game. The servers are shut down. You lose your game. Here you'll see how the community. Here you can see how the community ensured that the game is still at least playable. And pretty much we're gonna play one match, one test match. I don't know what kind of hero I picked, but well. Blah 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 blah. Target multiple cloud is your number resistance. Ah, there we go. It's set. As you know, I played a lot of MOBAs. I played those MOBAs offline. The ones that I said, I always play them offline. And so I'm not an expert on any of them except probably Heroes of the Storm. So yeah, pretty much we are just having we're just gonna have a relaxed bot match, so you can see that everything works. You can see that this game, just like all of the other MOBAs, could have easily had offline mode. If the community could do this, the professional developers could have easily you can also level up like this, or you can use set and this. Yeah, as you can see, one feature of this game is that you recover health if you stay close to a tower. Of course, you need to have a tower first. But if you have one, yeah, I think this hero will be a bit painful to watch. This is not my style, definitely. This deals damage, right? Yeah. Nether strike. Is this the ultimate or what? Oh well, doesn't matter. As I told you, I don't know. There we go. We killed the one. Yeah, that's the one thing that I've been unable to control, is that I don't know if they are on hard difficulty. That's the thing. But as you can see, let me show you the here. Yeah, as you can see here, you can control things that you would normally be unable to control. Here, as you can see, you can control the graphics and everything. I can control the graphics. I can control the graphics and everything, and pretty much. Just like I told you. All of these games could have easily been developed with offline mode. I love how it still has kind of like the arrows when you move your character. The same arrows as Heroes of New Earth. Pretty much the same. Yeah, the bots. I should definitely control them because the bots in Heroes of New Earth on hard difficulty, as you could see, are pretty good. As you could see last time, they are pretty good. But in this game, I suspect they are not on hard mode. I may need to adjust that a bit eventually. But yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this hero is definitely not my style. It's kind of like a ganker, a stealth ganker. And I like pushing rather than that. Hey, what about that ability? No. Damn it. I meant to use the other one, this one. Alright, pretty much. I don't know if it's on hard mode. That's the thing. That's something that I've been unable to see.
As a shadow. Moving now.
Oh well. That's something that... Hey, I can buy stuff, right? Or what? Here. Buy items. Ah, you can.
Silent footfalls.
What's that one? That one looks like a pusher. Rook. Then I'll use that one in the future. What do we have here? Fellblade. Attack power. The economy is pretty different when compared to Heroes of New Earth. What else do we have? Anything is, so it's good. Attack damage, please. Here. Speed. This is useful. Okay. What else? Power is the mana, right? No. No. Here, in this game, mana and power, they are different. This one? No, this is health. Alright. Then I will assume power increases my damage. I don't know. I wonder if there are teleportation runes or something like that. The shop disappeared. Right. Then we'll investigate that. But yeah, pretty much. I think that I've more than proven my point by now. People. I think that I've more than proven my point that all of these games could have easily been developed offline. There we go. The tower, what's going on there? There's 3 of them. So yeah, if all MOBAs would have included offline mode, the world would be a much happier place.
Being targeted. Time to shadow blink.
Let's see this. La 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 la. Okay.
Moving now.
We've got the ultimate, I guess. If I do this.
I could have taken your gold without spilling your blood and saved us both the trouble. My blade seeks a deserving foe. Slow and steady.
Now we got the extra attack there, the 5 hits. There we go. Yeah, this is not the most interesting hero to play, I guess.
I can't do that until the time is right. Being targeted.
Has a pretty nice ultimate.
My blade seeks a deserving foe.
Damn it. Yeah, they don't chase, the bots are not aggressive enough.
Time to strike.
Damn it. The bots are not aggressive enough. I'm pretty sure they are not on hard mode, that's the thing. Oh well. Here you can see that Boulder, special enemy who grants you entire team objective. Ah. Well, as you can see,
No one is safe. Slow and steady.
I think I've more than proven my point that the game could have been developed with offline mode, that all MOBAs could have been developed with offline mode in mind, and it's basically terrible. This one is so similar to Heroes of the Storm. It has some differences, of course, but it feels much more similar to Heroes of the Storm than any other.
I could have taken your gold without spilling your blood and saved us both the trouble.
Let's see.
Steady and soft. Shadow Bud.
Damn it.
Slow and steady. I can't do that until the time is right.
Yeah, you can order your pet to do some things, to use
Yes.
its abilities. Basically.
So here.
Alright.
Time to strike.
Damn it. Why is it targeting me
A
if
tower
we
is
have
targeting
mobs? There.
Silent flames.
Get out of there. Oh no.
Before I do that again. Steady and softly.
The graphics of this game remind me, you know, of which one? Of Torchlight. Feels so similar to Torchlight. It's much more cartoony.
Moving now.
Hell, it even looks like World of Warcraft in a way.
Steady and softly. I can't do that until the time is right.
Good.
So here. My blade seeks a certain foe.
Okay. What's that thing? Harrower.
Bleeding out. Must recover.
Don't worry. See, there, the bar charges, and after it does, you regain health and mana.
Slow and steady.
What's going on down there? Someone's not doing their job. Two. Ah, he must have died. Yep, he died. Harrower. That one who turns into a wolf and those, he's basically like Greymane in World of Warcraft. Which one? Top. Damn it, those guys are pretty fast.
Moving. Yes. Attack.
Damn it. What happened there? That guy kind of like charged.
Silent footfalls.
Alright. Yeah, basically, the idea is that the huge mistake here is that I don't know if I'm playing against hard bots,
Moving now.
but considering how good Heroes of New Earth bots were, you could see that they beat me in the previous chapter. I don't think these ones are hard mode bots. That's the thing. So I still need to verify that.
Moving now.
But well, it's more than enough to prove my point that, as you can see, the game works perfectly, and it's working completely offline, and it's being preserved forever here. Alright, you know what? If if all of you go that way, I'll follow you.
Silent footfalls.
Sorry, this flu is disgusting. It's been a plague. Ah, you're going back there, and I follow you over there. I know, they are trying to beat this Sindara? Change Kratos lane. Pick a lane to spawn. Center lane. Kratos lane, what does it mean? As you can see, the game has a lot of interesting mechanics. Let me guess, a Titan is gonna spawn. Hey, we got a pink gorilla. We got a pink gorilla here. Damn it. Change Kratos lane. Kratos is pushing middle. Hey, pretty well done. This is like the merc camps in Heroes of the Storm. See, here I told you how that it had similar mechanics. Hey, pretty good. Hey, the boss fights, the team fights are pretty good. I have no mana. I think I used all of my mana. Double kill, Shank. There's a pretty good game on the Xbox 360 called Shank, precisely. Also on the PS3, there's also Shank 2. Look at that gorilla. Hey, you cannot zoom in this game. You cannot zoom in. Look at that gorilla. Yeah, pretty much I think these are normal bots. This is the problem. I don't know how to spawn the game with hard bots. I need to investigate that. Would have been much more. Alright, and she takes the gorilla. Okay. Kratos. Kratos is the name of the gorilla. Yeah, probably the fact that I got killed has to do with the fact that I have. It probably has to do with the fact that I have almost. That I have 4,600 gold. Almost 5,000. Right. So, give me some weapons to increase my attack damage. Every 5 attacks will cost chain lightning for. Hey, this could help me identify. Could help me identify with that ability that I have, this one, whenever it's activated.
I shall
Good.
use this to its fullest.
What else? And then attack. Each kill assist grant 3 power, blah 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 blah. No. What increases my damage? This one. How do I sell?
Stepping softly.
Sell. Yeah, as you can see, I'm a fucking... I'm a noob in this game. Stash. No, not stash. Sell.
Slow and steady.
Your middle tower is taking damage.
Put...
Your middle tower has been destroyed.
How do I sell this? That's not precisely perfect user interface design. It was well hidden. So first you need to place it here and then you have to sell it. Okay. Give me something to increase my damage quickly. This thing. 18 attack damage.
An hour's time.
And what about consumables? Let's see if I can I teleport? Recommended. Can I teleport? Is there teleportation here in Heroes of New Earth? There is teleportation. Warp boots. You have to buy warp boots. Okay, so they are part of another item. Okay, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Okay, let's go.
Your tower is taking
Stepping
damage.
softly.
Don't worry. Now let's see that attack that should bounce to other
Silent footfalls.
mobs. The range of this unit is terrible. Of this hero is terrible.
Moving now.
There we go. Pretty nice graphical effects. Oh,
Toe heel.
goodbye bottom tower. Let's see. I love how I'm just pushing middle.
Moving now.
Yeah, as you can see, this game has a lot of casual mechanics, kind of like you just need to fall back for a while and you can keep playing. That makes pretty much the penalty for losing a fight
Silent footfalls.
extremely low. I mean, you can just fall back here and stay here. In Dota 2, it's not like that. Precisely. Have to go all the way back. So yeah, pretty much we have both ends of the spectrum. More casual and more hardcore
Stepping
MOBAs. Pretty much. But important thing is that
Keep taking hits. I'm going to die.
there it is. That will give me a bit of push.
Moving now.
Like that. Good. And it will also be the same attack as this ability. It's every 5 blows.
Toe heel.
Perfect.
I could have taken your gold without spilling your blood and saved us both the trouble.
Oh! They're there. I mean, they're running away.
Sons of the shadows.
Ah, right. This tower is a bit more... It has a shield. And they are right, to regenerate health, though, they need to stay out of combat. Okay. Yep. That wasn't our brightest idea, I guess. No, but it's okay, Yeah, I wonder if I could crank up the difficulty eventually. Tower region, well, there all that. Out of combat health regeneration. If you're fighting, it's useless. I could buy another one of these, or no, or not. 1976. No. No.
Moving now.
Could have sworn I paid less for this one, 1600, something like that. Or whatever.
Tidy sum for my effort.
Hey, we could try pushing another lane, right? Hey, they are going there.
Your top tower is taking damage.
Yeah, bring the gorilla. Ah, they were trying to grab it. Yeah, this is something so typical of Heroes of the Storm that you could try to get a bear camp
Moving now.
and it would be stolen from you. So typical of Heroes of the Storm.
I keep taking hits, I'm going to die. Slowly stay.
Damn it, get out of there.
Moving now.
Wait for the gorilla. Not so fast. That's a terrible idea. My gorilla friend is over there. That's so typical of Heroes of the Storm. This mechanic was Heroes of the Storm's Merc mechanic. I'm sure it was stolen from this, because this is the only other MOBA that I've seen that uses this Merc camp mechanic. Hey, how's our health? Here and here. They both seem pretty good. Let's go.
Double kill.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these spots are not on hard difficulty.
My blade ceases.
Definitely.
I must wait for it.
Yep. Definitely, this is not my hero. I hate this. This one is like playing Genji in Heroes of the Storm, pretty much. Oh well. Ah, you have to be kidding me. I know I cannot see the health, so that is empty. Yeah, I wonder if there's some kind of pusher, some ranged attacker. See, this is the thing with launchers. If you don't know the heroes of the game, you cannot pick them. For example, in Dota 2 and Heroes of New Earth, I can at least see them classified, kind of like intelligence, agility, strength, and those. But no, the bots here, I'm sure they are much better on hard. This is not on hard difficulty. This is not on hard difficulty. Warp boots. Right, I'll increase my attack if you don't mind. And power, they give you power and attack power. This movement speed and attack speed. I love those.
I could earn that an hour's time back home.
Let's see. And let me.
My skill continues to mature.
All right.
Stepping aside.
Where's the rest of our team? There they are. Yeah, I'm sure these are default bots. I am pretty sure.
Stepping
Level up, I've already done so. I can only level up this one.
Moving now.
You have mercs like in Dota. I mean, not mercs, kind of like to grab gold.
Stepping softly.
For example, in Heroes of the Storm, instead of grabbing gold, you can kind of like send smaller mercs to the enemy. What happens if I try to kill this guy?
Stepping softly. Moving now. Getting back to the rhythm. Moving now.
Nothing.
Yes. Attack.
I think I'm out of mana. Damn it.
Stepping softly. Zah. I could have taken your gold without spilling your blood and saved us both the trouble.
Good. Yes, please. A third gorilla. That's what we need. Ah, he's right there. I didn't notice last time. You kind of like free him. Okay.
So heal.
Damn it. I wonder if... Yeah, that guardian must recover health without a doubt. Let's see. Because if she doesn't recover health,
Footfalls.
it's much more dangerous. Yes, she doesn't recover. Let's see if that improved attack speed works. Not so fast. Hey, I'm still alive.
I can't do that until the time is right.
Middle again, I guess. No, they are all in mid lane. Bottom. Because in top, they still have a tower. Let's go bottom. Well, we push middle, I guess. Here. More or less over here. I want to be more or less over here when Kratos... That's my boy, nice little gorilla.
Silent footfalls.
Well, little.
I must
Yeah, that guy is everything but little.
moving now.
The game is cute. The cartoony presentation is much better than in League of Legends. At least we have to admit that, people. It's like Torchlight. It's so similar to Torchlight. Everything is either pink or green. I don't know. The boss, the team fights are as chaotic as in Heroes of the Storm. That's for sure. That you can barely tell what's going on because of all of these special effects. Damn it. They had a building there. Damn it, they stopped the gorilla.
Generator is taking damage.
Your top generator? There, that thing. Ah, they were pushing on a different lane or what here? Hey, that one teleported. Yeah, he must have the boots. Okay. But the lane was pushed all the way to their base. Also this one. Only the top lane is kind of like... Hey, we have,
Silent footfalls.
you know, we have more than 4,000 gold. How about we buy something? uh, here. Let's see. Attack speed. Attack damage. Blah 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 blah. Attacks applied 20%. Movement slow to a target. Good. Lifesteal. No. They are trying to do something.
I could earn that an hour's time back home.
Attack speed, and it should slow them as we attack. Looks like power does affect attack damage, so we'll also
I could
buy
earn
this
that
one.
An hour's time back home.
I don't know. What are they doing? Ah, there's a cooldown on the gorilla. Ah, this one. 1 minute. Okay.
So heal.
Yeah, the 5th ability is kind of like a pet ability. Carnivorous bite, blah 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 blah. Racer boosts attack capabilities.
Moving now.
Right, that's the thing. In this game you can choose different pets and you can kind of like combine their bonuses with to make your own custom build. Right, we are almost there. But we don't have a pusher. I think we don't have a pusher. There are way too many creeps whenever we attack. There are way too many creeps. We need a good pusher with a good area of attack. With good area of attack abilities. Oh well. Also the interface is pretty good,
Generator is
if I had to say. Bottom. Oh damn it. Ah, look at this. It's not like Dota 2. Kind of like here, they accumulate pretty easily when you control a lane. Yeah, definitely this is not my type of hero. I prefer pushers, ranged pushers. Be careful in this game. If you leave a lane kind of like undefended, they accumulate. In Dota 2 they don't accumulate that much until the end. Until pretty much the end. But in this game they accumulate much easier, much faster.
Silent footfalls. So heal.
So you need to ensure that all lanes pretty much. Ah, nice. But not by us.
My
Damn it.
blade blade seeks a deserving foe.
I think they are bringing a gorilla. Maybe we can finish this fight before they spawn a gorilla? I mean, we're in range. Yep. That was a snatch. But yeah, pretty much. Here you could see that the game works completely offline. Uh, and after this you do, well, it doesn't matter. This because I know it's automatic. It's automatic. It's automatic. It's automatic. It automatically sends you out. It automatically kicks you. Right, people. As I've said, sadly, I don't know. But then it reopens with. Okay. No, 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 no. You should simply quit the game. You should simply quit the game instead of leave. You should simply quit the game because then you'll have this, which is basically useless because, as I've said, the game, the game servers have been all shut down, so this is useless. But well, yeah, pretty much here you can control the graphics from here. It's a bit more relaxed rather than in the middle of a match. But yeah, pretty much. If you use leave game, you'll be sent here. As I've said, useless. And from the launcher, you can control everything because basically, as I've said, the servers have been shut down. The company has been shut down, and yeah, pretty much, the game is pretty much abandonware at this point. The company has been shut down, and the servers have been shut down. As you could see, well, that login screen was something positive because you could finally see that um, that the game was working completely offline. It was completely offline without a shadow of doubt, as you could see there. But well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been it's been my pleasure sharing this fourth offline MOBA with all of you, chapter 4 of the preservation series. As you could see, the huge negative thing is that I am sure those are, I have no way to tell, but I'm sure those are uh, default difficulty bots because you could see that in Heroes of New Earth the bots were much more aggressive. So I need to I need to change that. I need to change that because the game could be much more competitive and entertaining if I could crank up the difficulty of the bots to the highest. If I can eventually do it, we'll do another bot match on hard difficulty once I get some practice with the pusher. At least I need to find the the heroes of the game. I need to investigate them to find a ranged attacker, and we can crank up the difficulty like we did with Heroes of New Earth. That you could see that it was pretty competitive. I also need to record the rest of Heroes of New Earth because I had a second map with 2 lanes instead of 3. And yeah, pretty much this week we covered both of S2 Games MOBAs. As you can see, a sad story because this company had a passion for creating MOBAs, and it's an absolute shame and a pity that simply both Heroes of New Earth and Strife were shut down, and that S2 Games was shut down, and this is pretty much abandonware. And once the Steam servers don't have the intrinsic files of the game, the game will completely die. That's pretty much the idea, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what happens when a game is online only. That's why we should always. Uh, that's why consumers should always fight for their rights when it comes to having offline mode in their games. It doesn't matter if it's a MOBA. It doesn't matter if it's an online FPS. It doesn't matter if it's an MMORPG. An MMORPG. It doesn't matter if it's World of Warcraft, MMO, Call of Duty, online FPS, or what. All games should have offline mode. I think that I've more than proven my point with these 4 chapters that all of these games could have easily included offline mode and everyone would have been happy and they would have been preserved forever. We would have had mods. So imagine it would have been imagine if you could do with League of Legends what modders do with Skyrim. So yeah, pretty much. We'll cover other games, but pretty much I think I more than proven my point with these 4 MOBAs, ladies and gentlemen. Um, once if I recover from this flu, next week we will begin the next analysis. I've already selected the games that I more or less that I want to that will be the next ones that we're gonna analyze. And pretty much I just need to pick one from those. If I recover, if I don't recover, maybe we can try out another MOBA. This kind of like Seek, this kind of like flu week. Remember, it's the winter where I live. This kind of like flu week with Eraser, winter flu week with Eraser will combined with offline MOBAs. Pretty weird, but well, as you could see, we could metaphysically debunk, we could prove that all of these MOBAs could have easily included offline mode if the community could create it for them after they were shut down. Professional developers could have easily included offline mode in all of these MOBAs, and the world could have been a better place. That's why it's sad and painful to see when a part of the community, of the Blizzard community, asked for an offline mode of Heroes of the Storm, there was another group publicly mocking them, as you could see in Chapter 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure. See you all next week. I hope I can recover and we can start the next one. Next analysis. So, take care, and we'll all see each other next week. It's been my pleasure.